What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to another episode of DNA's The Dosage podcast, brought to you live on twitch.tv/dose of nerd acumen, and then always catch the encore presentation, I guess you would say, on any podcast platform out there, such as Google, Apple, Spotify, which I use, and so many more. We're live back with CRT. We have Caleb, the best voice on radio today. No, you're not going to give him your voice?
Hello, did not hear me?
I thought you had like a one-liner to say.
Oh, well, yeah. Can we restart? Or everyone close your ears.
All right. The best voice on radio today.
That's me.
Oh, God.
That's not my best yet.
Of course, lock, steady, Mr. Rob of the CRT.
What's up, y'all?
Is it weird to call you Mr. Rob?
I'd like Mr. Kennedy.
Mr.
I
Kennedy.
could be okay with that.
Mr. No. So my niece calls me Mr. Trav
Oh.
instead of Uncle Trav. So I'm like, that's kind of cool. You know, I'm like a teacher or something important.
Are you kidding me right now?
Who's kidding who?
Dose of Nerd Acumen's post and Dose of Nerd Acumen needs approval.
Oh.
You gotta have approval for your own post?
Yeah, well, because I posted as the page and then shared it into both groups. And in Not, it was just like, okay. But in the DNA group, it was like, I don't know about you.
You're an admin. Yep, sure enough, look at that.
No, that's the thing. I posted as DNA, not even as me.
Weird.
So the group owner had to get approval.
That's weird. Speaking of, if you want to follow us on social media, find Dose of Nerd Acumen as a group or an actual business page on Facebook.com/Dose of Nerd Acumen. Anyways, you can find us as well on other social media sites around the world if you like the social media world. So today's episode's very special, and I feel it's going to be argument-provoking. At least I feel.
Yeah, that could be.
It may be. Already I can tell we have some BS. If you're watching the visual podcast, it's found its way to the #1 Star Wars film of all time, as brought to you by DNA. It's PS All-Stars Battle Royale, apparently.
There was this happened prior to the challenge that was sent to me, but I'm happy to try and find a way to work this into as many episodes as possible. So I hackety my backside of this list and just a little copy pasty, and there we go. #1. Let's move on to #2, guys. What do you think is the best?
You know what I think my favorite part of that one is? It's not even difficult really to wrap PlayStation All-Stars into a Star Wars debate because Star is in the name.
Okay. So here's the question.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale is a fighting game, and they inserted Yoda and Darth Vader into Soul Calibur, which is another fighing game.
Thanks for the host, Ace. So quick question. Where does it fit in the timeline of Star Wars then?
I believe it's the canon. I think it is the story.
Yeah, it is the canon by which it is launched at you into your brain.
Yeah.
I can't. I just can't. We're only at 109 episodes here. Technically, like 9 together since the new trio.
Yeah.
But it's not even like a new trio. It's just the new #3.
Reformatted.
Thank you. That sounds better. Yeah. That sounds better. We reformatted our hard drives.
Oh, that's a painful thing to think about right now for me.
Yeah, didn't you recently lose a bunch of stuff with the power outage?
Not even a bunch, just a weird handful of things, and this is the second time it's happened to me. Because I keep both my Xbox and my PS4 in rest mode instead of fully powered down, which is actually, as far as I know, you can't even fully power down the Xbox.
Not true. You hold down the power button.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like from the menu. Like,
from the menu,
turn off, it goes into rest mode. It doesn't actually fully power off. But yeah, so whenever the power goes out, it pops out of rest mode, and both systems have a fit. The PlayStation, way more so. This is another one of those rare instances where I gotta give props to the Xbox. It handles power interruptions a hell of a lot better. The PlayStation, every time the power goes out when it's in rest mode, first it's got to tell you, "Hey, dummy,
You powered down
you
incorrectly.
unplugged me while you were in rest mode. Don't do that."
Yeah.
Then it's got to verify the system integrity. Then it has to re-verify my external hard drive where I keep all my games installed. And
So what
it
you're
wasn't as bad this
saying-
time as it was last time. The last time this happened, not only did I lose a bunch of installed games, but it actually blew out my folder structure entirely. I had to rebuild all of the folders my games were in.
Oh, jeez. So what you're trying to
this
say
time it
is
just was
Xbox is greater than. I
at
get it. It's
surviving
fine.
power outages.
It's fine.
That doesn't quite put it up there with Nintendo, which is better at surviving literally anything you throw at it, including it.
That's true. That's true. You guys have joined us
Trevor, that's
tonight,
not
though,
true.
for a very special episode. We're going to have exactly 1 hour to debate this, and the time starts when the first person takes their turn to add to the list. We're going to take turns adding a film from the 9 mainline Star Wars movies, so we're not going to add Solo, that shitfest film. Sorry for those that liked it. It was not good. If it was not in Star Wars, it could be considered good. But a Star Wars film, it does not hold up. Nor does... oh, God, I'm drawing a blank. What was the prequel to New Hope? Rogue One. Yes, thank you. Holy cow. Nor is that included in here, or any Christmas special, or any other specials. It's episodes 1 through 9 only for this particular...
No Battle for Endor, I'm out.
Yeah, sorry to disappoint.
I did see that guy's post.
And this is our special. We're doing it early because we want to, and because just how the stars align. I've used that twice now here tonight. I'm going to stop using that phrase. But I guess we're doing Star Wars, so Star is kind of the theme. But it aligned where May the 4th is coming up. And if you don't know already, we might be playing some Star Wars Battlefront 2. If anyone's down for joining us for that, a community night for Star Wars night. Could be fun. Maybe not.
I'm totally down for that.
Cool.
We haven't played Star Wars in so long.
So it's time to go back. Kevin in chat says the Christmas special not included, so he peaced out. Sorry, buddy. Star Horse. That was actually the title of one of our weekly Dosage episodes.
It was.
Regarding that very game that we're pimping out and that we're going to be playing. So, yes, Star Horse. That was like what, episode 7 or 8 of our I don't even remember, but it was very early. It was to coincide with the release of the Battlefront 2 game.
Yeah, because we had to have that cold open where we talked about not threatening developers because you're a douchebag.
That was one of our the first serious moments.
It sure was.
And we didn't have very many of them.
As to now, we do. We have tons of serious.
We're completely 100% serious and focused. It's all business here. No party in the back.
If I'm correct, I mean, we probably let the cat out of the bag. We talked kind of off podcast that this is going to be a purely fact-driven decision today, right? That's how we're making this based off fact.
100%.
No room for opinions.
None.
Okay.
If anyone wants to hang out with us on Discord in addition to hanging out with us on Twitch, I actually just threw a link to the YouTube backup of that episode of the Weekly Dosage, which was episode 8.
Hey, I was right.
Yeah. Woo, that was a long time ago.
It was a hell of a long time ago. 101 episodes ago. Jeez. That was 2017, I believe. Good Lord. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Who wants to take the first?
Yeah, November 2017. I don't know. Doesn't Caleb usually go first?
I do have a question.
Yes.
Do we care? I mean, would you like us to start somewhere on the list of rankings, or start with a movie and put that wherever I want it to be? Do you guys care? We never talk about that.
Anything with your turns. The rules are simple. Place something on this ranking. If you want to put something in the number 9 spot, you can. That is your turn. If I want to move that particular movie anywhere in the ranking, I can. But everything shifts down. So if I put something that was at number 9 to number 1, everything shifts down 1. So, Locke, you got
Do you
some
want
work
me
to
to
do.
basically do it? Or me to tell you.
Yeah, I mean, it's your
Well, so
turn. You do what you want.
Well, so
Okay.
let me ask this then. Let's say he puts something in at spot number 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put something in at spot number 1. Does his move to 4, or does his stay at 3? Because or let
It
me
would
rephrase: if you move something,
it would shift down.
even if there's nothing above it.
Well, if there's nothing
So
currently
like if
above it,
there's
but
nothing in
once
2,
all 9 spots are filled, everything shifts
okay,
down once you
yeah.
start.
So the shifting only starts once we've filled it out.
Correct.
Gotcha. I am going to start off with which I'm sure is going to be something that most people will chat about, but I'm going to put it out there because it's how I feel. And I thought pretty long and hard about this list. Let me just make sure I've counted my correct numbers here.
Okay, and Locke's going to be doing the ordering for us.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll
he's
be
doing
moving
so
stuff
I have
around,
to-
so there'll
Yeah.
be a very brief delay.
Am I clicking or am I just telling you?
You're just telling us. Locke's
Oh,
got the sheet on lock.
yeah. I would like to take episode 1, and I'd like to put it in 6th place.
Interesting. I'm proud of you not putting it number 9.
Would you like for me to explain, or no need?
I don't think at this point debate is needed until we start getting down to the gritty. So the hour begins now. I'll be keeping an eye on the clock throughout this and letting you guys know how much time that we have left. So at 1 hour and 12 minutes of this podcast, whatever it is what DNA says.
That's where it is.
Is the top 9 in order.
We really all agree on the 9 the first try, and then we just have to sit here in silence for an hour.
If that's the case, yeah, we have to sit in silence for the remainder of the hour.
Yeah.
Crisscross applesauce.
I think at that point the audience gets to try to argue us out of our position.
Yeah, I agree with that. Chat, feel free to give your opinions. If we're stupid, let us know.
Yeah.
Don't be quiet. Don't have restraint. We want to know.
I don't think they're ever quiet about calling us dumb.
That's true. That's true. All right, Rob.
Oh, I get to go next?
Yeah, I figured as much. We'll keep it our general rotation that we've been doing since the Christmas episode.
All right.
Silence.
So I'm going to go ahead and steal the number 1 slot
Oh, this should be interesting.
with episode 5.
Okay.
Hmm.
I have a lot of reasons for it, but I think the biggest one, and the only one I'm going to share so that we can move on, is because, especially in a time where you didn't really do this, it subverted a lot of expectations.
Well, it was the big reveal.
Yeah. Well, not just that, but it ends on a hell of a downer note.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I won't argue that one.
Boy.
All right, Trav. What do you got for number 3?
For my pick, I'm gonna put something in the number 2 slot, and that's
All right.
gonna be episode 7.
All right.
The
I'm not
Force
prepared to
Awakens.
disagree with you yet.
Are we looking to try and fill up this before we start moving around, or can I start jarbly now?
Completely
start moving
your
now.
choice. You can move one thing, or you can add to this list.
I'm gonna save the drama for later. I'm gonna go ahead and take the number 3 slot, and I would like to place A New Hope in number 3.
All right, this is shaping up to be a very short episode. So far, I'm not in disagreement with either of you. All right, so that's my turn then, huh?
Yep, go for it.
All right. I'm gonna give the safety answer here, and we'll give episode 6 number 4.
Okay. So it's my turn.
I actually didn't know that was Kevin Smith's favorite, but that does make sense.
Which one?
Not So Silent Bob in chat said that I picked episode 5 as number 1 because that's Kevin Smith. And I am all about.
I'm gonna put at number 5, episode 3.
All right. Now we're gonna start having disagreements.
All right. I would like to take episode 6 and put the number 2 slot.
Oh no.
This is like the hardest game of chess ever. And no one wins.
Yeah. It's very, for those listening, you should really do yourself a solid so you can see how these things shift. So if you're listening back and this is not clearly live, do yourself a favor and head over to youtube.com/doseofnerdacumen and check out episode 109 of the Dosage. We have a visual aid for our top 9 ranks for this particular episode.
Yeah, this would be one that you might, your brains would turn into like the most knotted spaghetti knitting mess of the world just by listening to this. You'd never be able to track it down.
No,
All right, so here's what I think we're gonna have to do though. At the start of each round, we should read where everything is.
I'm down with that.
Okay.
And so, moving along though, I'll go ahead and read it since Caleb just did his move for the beginning of this round. Currently, in spots 1 through 6 in this order, we have episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. In number 2, we have episode 6, Return of the Jedi. In the 3rd place slot, we have episode 7, The Force Awakens. In 4th place, we have episode 4, A New Hope. Kind of funny. In 5th place, we have episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And in 6th, we have episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So, what I'm going to do is exercise my disdain for this movie, and I'm going to move episode 3 down to 9th.
What the
I absolutely hate Revenge of the Sith.
Wow.
Okay.
So we're gonna start that trend now.
Okay. So is it my turn?
The only one that even comes close for me is Phantom Menace. I actually enjoyed Attack of the Clones.
Okay.
For 2 reasons, but we can discuss those later. It is your turn, Travis.
It is my turn, and I'm going to take my turn, so you're going to have to bump something up as I'm taking something and putting it in the number 9 spot.
Okay.
And that spot is episode 8.
Okay. Not cut.
So yes, episode 8, The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
That to me is number 9.
Wow.
Not Revenge of the Sith.
Rob, would you like to read the current order? Or do you want me to?
You've got the radio voice if you want to take over. I'll still do it, but you're welcome if you want it.
7.7. I could have thought of a better number, I'm sure. All right.
You coulda.
All right. We have
109 WDNA.
1 through 4 in this order. We have episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Episode 7, The Force Awakens. Episode 4, A New Hope. Then in 6th place, in the middle, we have episode 1, The Phantom Menace. 8th place, episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And in 9th place, episode 8, The Last Jedi. Now I'll take my turn.
So real quick, people are talking about Rogue One, stating that should be the best, but obviously the rules are it's the main 9. But out of quick curiosity, where would you guys rank Rogue One?
Oof. All right, I'm gonna put it out there. Haven't seen Solo or Rogue One. Don't jump on me.
Oh my god, my head hurts so bad right now. Like,
I was too busy
you could
playing
hear
PlayStation Battle All Stars. I'm just being honest. Not allowed to be on
God.
episode right now. I apologize.
I think you literally caused Travis to have an aneurysm.
There's a small chance that did happen. I'll take his pick when it comes to his turn.
All right, that's fine. I honestly, I said it kind of as a joke when Andrea said it in the chat, but I don't know that I disagree. I loved Rogue One so much, I would be really hard pressed not to give it first on the list, honestly.
I'd give it number 2. Move on.
Great content. Great content. You know what? Let's be honest, guys. I always find a way to cheat, and this may have been my way of cheating this episode. I am going to throw a little light in the fire here, and I'm going to take episode. No, I don't want to do that yet. Save that move for later. I'm going to take episode 5. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, I am going to do this. I'm going to take episode 5 and put it down at number 7.
Wow. So you're dead to me.
Are you kidding me?
Bring it on.
Okay.
All right. I'm not hang up on this man, says Raven Knight in the chat. He is not wrong. I'm not going to quote unquote waste my turn putting it back in its rightful position just yet. We'll get there. Kevin also says boo this man.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow. What the hell?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna go ahead and get it in the list, and I'm gonna put Rise of Skywalker in at 5.
Okay. So since the trend is wasting our fucking turn on episode number 2 is going to be number 1.
Oh yeah, no, that is absolutely a waste. Holy shit. All right, Caleb, I hope you're proud of yourself because now you get to lead this abomination of a list.
All right,
You just
so
fucked everything up.
guys, we're gonna wrap up the end of the episode here. The final list. This is how it reads from DNA. A truthfully factual based episode. Now, the current standings, and stay tuned because they will change immediately. And ranks 1 through 9 are as follows: Episode 2, Attack of the Clones; Episode 6, Return of the Jedi; Episode 7, The Force Awakens; Episode 8, A New Hope. Oh, awkward. Sorry, I can't read numbers. Episode 4, A New Hope; Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker; Episode 1, Phantom Menace; Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back; 3, Revenge of the Sith; 8, The Last Jedi.
So
you guys don't feel good about the list as it stands? I just want to make sure we're all.
So real quick, because I pulled this literally out of my ass, this idea to do this. I just thought of something else as far as a rule. So now that all 9 on their list, we have 2 options. We can move one and everything shifts down from there, or the rule is we pick one and we have to swap places.
Ooh.
So
I like swaps. That seems like more of a
Do we want to do swaps? Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Lock? Rob?
Sure.
It's like that puzzle you used to use as a toy where there's always one empty space and you have to keep moving around until it clicks to the close enough picture.
I loved those.
Yeah. So this should be fun. This will take up an hour. I can see that happening.
Okay.
So just to be clear, let's say right now, it was my turn, and I was going to fix the horrible mistake that Caleb made last round and put Empire Strikes Back in the top spot. That would mean 5 would go to 1 and 2 would go to 7.
Correct. That's what we're doing. But if anyone's curious, that's not what I'm going to do, because that would exactly undo the choice that I made earlier in this episode. I am going to take episode 2, and I would like to switch it with episode 8.
Where's 8 is
one
Last
and
Jedi?
Switch 1 and 9
Yeah,
rankings.
Yeah, just we'll announce the rankings like that. So 1 and 9 will get swapped. Really? Really?
Nope. Don't do that.
This is just a move to get things where they need to be. Not necessarily both things, but one thing where it needs to be.
Okay.
I'm not completely crazy.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay, that sucks. All right, I'm gonna have to do something other than what I thought I was gonna do because it's not letting me do the thing. I gotta kill these links, and we're literally just swapping 1 and 9.
Listen,
So
listen.
Batman, thanks for the host. Welcome to the show.
much appreciated, man.
As always, Batman, representing the city for us.
Yeah.
All right. At this point, I am absolutely certain that that Caleb is just here to troll people.
I'm not. I have the list in front of me. I didn't do it just for the clout.
This can't be real life, Caleb. I refuse to accept that.
Yeah, this ranking is just fucking bored. This is not acceptable.
No, this is terrible, and I don't know where to start trying to fix it.
Awkward silence.
All right, I
as he
lied. I
thinks.
do. I know exactly what to do to fix it. I'm moving episode 5 back up. This is ridiculous. Because I actually don't disagree with Last Jedi going in 7th, necessarily.
Yeah, I don't either.
God damn it. There we go. Alright. Oh.
You know, I'm not mad
All right.
about a lot of this list right now, looking at it, but I am going to do one thing. I'm going to move number 7 ranking to number 9.
So you're going to put it Phantom Menace in 7th then.
Correct. Yep, swapping those.
Why
Oh, wait, hold on. What'd I do? Why is Phantom Menace on here twice?
Did you fuck things up?
I did fuck things up.
God damn it. So which one don't we have on here? We don't have an episode 2. So just throw that in 7. Well, throw that. Then now what do we not have?
We have 2 episode 1s and no episode 2. I'm okay with that, says Redbeard.
We
No.
don't have 8. We don't have 8 on there.
Yeah.
The one that you moved. You moved.
So just put 8. Throw 8 down in number 9 right now.
Yeah, that's the move you made. Episode 8 should be in ranking 9. That's
Yeah,
the move.
there we go. Now they're all back.
Are we?
You had one job, Rob. You had one job.
I was so mind blown by how fucked up this list was.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. How do I begin to get this? Okay, I'm just going to
Well, hold on. You got to read the list first.
read the list. Okay, I'm to make this list reading shorter, I will kind of truncate their names. We'll just go nice and easy. Ranking 1 through 9. Here are the titles of the movies: The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, The Rise of Skywalker, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and The Last Jedi. Okay, so to correct this, oh boy, where do we need to start moving these things? I would like to take The Last Jedi and switch it with this is not this hurts, right? Because you're to move something up, you're trying to tell something else that it doesn't belong where it is. That's what makes this so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, I don't need all the haters on me.
I think it's a little late for that, friend.
Yeah, this is true.
Made that bed. Just burn it down.
You know what? We're gonna keep it nice and simple, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and switch. No, that's not right. Yeah, I guess so. I'm gonna switch episode. Yeah, yep. I'm gonna switch episode 7 with episode 6.
Rank 7 and 6. Is that what you mean?
No, episode. Switching 2 and 3 ranking.
There you go.
Okay. Well, that's not terrible. There's an argument to be made there.
You stole my move for my turn.
What's that?
He stole my move for my turn. That's what I was
that's what you were gonna do?
That's what I was going to do, yeah.
Oh, Andrea said Jedi belongs at the bottom. All it has is a bunch of Muppets. And Kevin said, what Andrea's saying is it belongs on the bottom, like Titanic.
I mean, to be fair, Titanic is on the bottom of
That
the
is
ocean.
so true.
Oh dear.
Dun dun dun. Andrea's about to bring back chair shots. All right, so I bought you a little bit of time. What?
Wow.
Shut all your four mouths.
She's getting vulgar.
Wow.
Welcome to the adult podcast of DNA.
I mean, adult seems to imply some sort of maturity, and I think we threw that shit right out the window.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, what do you got though, Trev? We bought you enough time. What do you got?
Isn't it your turn?
It's Rob's turn.
Wait, is it?
Yeah,
Oh, it is
Caleb
my
just
turn.
went. Damn. Trying to skip
Listen,
you.
just a second ago, you said he stole your move, and it messed up my brain. I still can't wrap myself around the fact that he hasn't seen Rogue One.
Okay, we
Or
don't need to
Solo.
remind them. It's not something I'm like proud of. I don't boast. I don't have a secret because I haven't seen it.
Um. All right. All right. All right.
Why
What
do
am I
we always
doing?
get people in our business that don't see movies?
You know what? I sincerely don't understand sometimes.
We're like, hey, you
But
want to be a nerd with us? Oh, you don't watch things? Well, you're in, I guess.
this is what I'm
You're
doing.
welcome.
I'm just fucking.
I'm swapping episodes. I'm swapping Last Jedi for Revenge of the Sith. Kevin said he had a sinking feeling about that one.
Really? Okay. So I'm gonna swap rank.
Oh shit, guys, we got mom voice in the chat.
Oh,
Did you already swap it? It's currently where it is.
Did
Yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah.
You did
I
you?
swapped Last Jedi up to
Okay.
8.
I
Okay.
thought you made them. All right.
I'm gonna swap. These are the rankings. So I'm gonna rank 7. I'm gonna put down to rank
Okay.
9.
All right.
So
So
swapping 7 and 9. So
you're
Attack of the
killing me.
Clones heading down to the bottom of the list. And Revenge of the
You're
Sith
killing
moving
me
to
a little
7.
inside.
Really?
Yeah, I
Okay.
said what I said.
I'm gonna go ahead and confirm the rankings 1 through 9. Here we go. Empire Strikes Back, Force Awakens, Return of the Jedi, A New Hope, The Rise of Skywalker, The Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi, and Attack of the Clones. With that, I'm going to make a small tweak. I'm just going to swap rankings 7 and 8.
All right, so we're moving Last Jedi up above Revenge of the Sith where it belongs. And is there not enough room on the door for another Titanic joke? Seemed a bit frozen. Fredbeard and Raven Knight trying to get us all in trouble.
It's alright. She went to check on the baby, so she can't even see this.
So we've got a moment's reprieve before she murders anybody. Got it.
Yeah, you're good.
Should I list
Although
all-
if we start hearing screaming, we know what happened.
Yeah,
All right, so who did what now? You moved up Last Jedi, right?
Caleb did.
Now it's
Yeah.
Rob's turn. Rob, help us, please.
Uh,
Silence is awkward.
I mean, if I gotta do anything, I'm just gonna swap 8 and 9 at this point. I think.
Okay. I think it's at that point, what is it even? What do
Yeah,
we do?
I think Revenge of the Sith is gonna go back below Attack of the Clones.
I think when you really debate the bottom 2 slots, I feel like at that point, does it really matter which one's 8 and which one's 9? So
I mean, to some degree, because at least Attack of the Clones had that wild fight between Dooku and Yoda.
It also had this stupid love, the awkward dialogue. The dialogue was atrocious in Attack of Clones. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but the dialogue was also atrocious in Revenge of the Sith, but at
Not
least it
as
had good
bad.
action sequence.
Oh, jeez.
Kevin
No.
found Money Island again. He can go right to
Hey.
hell. Kevin, Sarah flipped him off.
all right, Travis, how are you
What do
gonna
you got, buddy?
So I'm going to swap ranking 3 and 4. Move up New Hope to spot 3. Move down Return of the Jedi to spot 4. Redbeard says Attack of the Clones does deserve to be on the bottom. See?
All right.
We ain't talking about Clone Wars.
Before I read off the list, how are we feeling? We getting close?
Close. Yes, I guess.
I think so, actually, yeah.
Something we all have to understand. As I look at my list of what I wanted, clearly all three. Oh, apologize for the cell phone. All three of our we're never going to get what we want. So I think and at least in my mind, I'm going at this of did I at least get the 1 or 2 things I really wanted to get, and then are the other things close? And I'm pretty okay. We're getting there.
There is compromise here, and we could indeed, before the hour time limit, have a list. It's quite
A
possible.
consensus.
Yeah. So
I have. All right, so here we go. Rankings 1 through 9 as they stand. The Empire Strikes Back, The Force Awakens, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker, The Phantom Menace, The Last Jedi, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Okay, do I dare touch episode 5 again, or is it worth risking my life? Who knows? Let's find out. I would like to change rankings 1 and 2, please.
Okay. Let's see the cut of your jib.
Okay. Not 100% sure this is the hill I'm willing to die on.
Okay.
It might be. I just am not there yet. Speaking of not there yet, Not So Silent Bob in chat just could not get anywhere. Because he said Clone Wars gave us so many good memes. I mean, Attach of the Clones. Attack! Just had some troubles over there. And Raven Knight asked, "Did you hear Jar Jar in Phantom Menace? Does that even count as dialogue?" No, I didn't hear Jar Jar. Who's Jar Jar?
But he's a drunken Jedi Master.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I read a lot of things implying he was a Sith.
Even
and
better.
that he may have even been Darth Plagueis.
Even better.
He's pulling off moves that no one else even knows how to do.
You know what? I remain to this day completely fine with that headcanon that Jar Jar was a secret Sith.
You know what else Episode 1 brought us?
I swear to God, if you say pod racing, I'm leaving this chat.
That's what I got next to mine.
Awkward silence as I reveal pod racing.
Absolutely.
Dude.
Anytime I go to pinball, the one game I almost have to play is the freaking pod racing game. Coolest thing ever. What kid, no matter how much you don't like young Anakin, what kid doesn't want to do a freaking pod race? Awesome. So freaking cool.
Exactly. And coming in May, brought to you by DNA. DNA? Maybe.
We're getting pods.
We are on Nintendo Switch. Pod racing is coming back. Episode 1 Racer.
Ooh.
Yes, that's a thing.
I'm going to fully admit that I have an unhealthy bias against Pod Racer, specifically because of Pinball Pete's, actually. Because in the spot where the Pod Racer machines got put is the spot where the old 4-player cruising cabinets used to be.
Come on.
And cruising was a vastly superior game.
So for those watching visual, where's the unfollow? So visual right now. So if you can see, I just flipped on my camera.
Hey, there's a camera.
Do you see the poster I have? I have many posters. But right in the center.
How did I know?
Right in the center is Episode 1 Racer from EGM.
There you go.
So
that's why I said that, because I knew that poster was there. I was like, he's going to say pod racing, and I'm going to lose my shit.
Yep, you're welcome for that. Pod racing. I'm excited, and I am going to live stream that in May, because I am definitely scooping that game up.
That'll be a blast.
Yeah, I mean, you have fun with that, but I'm sitting that one out for sure.
I have little notes next to each of my decisions to try and help me kind of debate if it came to it. And the only thing I have next to Phantom Menace is all caps, exclamated, pod race. Very exciting.
Because it's great.
Absolutely.
No, you know the best thing Episode 1 gave us was Qui-Gon Jinn.
Well, yeah, that was
second best thing was Darth Maul.
Darth Maul. Dude, the music.
You're pronouncing pod racing incorrectly.
Episode 1 was fun. Okay?
It just reminds me of that meme that's going around right now where it's like, what is it from Friends? It's Phoebe and Joey, and she's like, this part of the word, this part of the word, the next part of the word, the next part of the word, the whole thing, something completely different. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
That's all I can think right now. Darth, Maul, Darth Maul, pod racing.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious.
Do you guys remember Anakin Guy by Weird Al?
I do.
Don't.
Do yourself a favor after this episode, listeners as well. look up Anakin Guy. It's the mock of American Pie. And the music video is... It's called The Saga Continues. Thank you, Kevin, for the clarity on that.
Oh,
So,
so
Should I watch that before or after Rogue One?
you should watch it before because it'll take 4 minutes. And
All right,
technically,
so-
in the timeline of the story is being told in that music video, it's before Rogue One. So there you go.
Oh, thank you.
So
All right, I believe it's Rob's turn.
it is, but before I get to my pick, there's a couple other things that just came out of chat that made me laugh a little bit. And one really cool thing, Batman from chat points out that he met Ray Park in Vegas, and he was a cool dude. That does not surprise me. That is awesome, and I'm totally jealous of you. For those who don't know, Ray Park was the guy that was Darth Maul. And even though Not So Silent Bob pointed out the song was called The Saga Continues and then called you a Philistine for getting the name wrong, he was proved incorrect almost immediately by Redbeard pointing out it's called The Saga Begins, which made me laugh. But the thing that I really wanted to share was Redbeard said, why wasn't Darth Maul in episode 1 all that long? He had to split.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
When
And
that
that,
music
that-
hits,
that-
though, in that sequence...
Okay, but so you
everyone-
can't say one movie had great music. They all had great music. All of them.
Sure, but
Oh,
how
absolutely.
hyped do you get from other themes? They all draw different
Kevin, before
emotions.
you leave,
But Duel of the Fates, dude, you get hype.
I mean, it's good. I'm not disagreeing. They all had great music, though. I can't use that as a metric. But Kevin, before you go, it did not give us Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan was introduced to us in episode 4.
True.
Chronologically, his first appearance was episode 1 in the Star Wars chronology, but in our chronology, he came from episode 4. So get off me.
I think that's something, obviously I think we all obviously know this, that the movies came out physically in our world in a different time frame than they existed in their world. And so I think that's something too for me that I found myself scratching my head at is, am I ranking these, within their own time frame? I almost treated these as, one individual piece of entertainment. Each movie has its own thing. I tried not to allow myself to relate it to the movie before or after. That was something that was hard for me when I tried coming up with this list.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm not ranking it because each has a technological quality difference to them. I'm not ranking them based on how visually they looked. I'm considering them each in vacuums as far as films and storytelling and just how much, I was entertained or various things like that. That's how I've been critical on it. So I don't care when they were released. If they're all released on the same day, that's fine. It has nothing to do with...
Yeah.
All right, Rob, I think it's enough stalling. What do you got?
I was really struggling, and I was really riding that stall for as much as I could. I'm going to be a completely
It's
forthright
okay
with you
to
guys.
pass. If you feel like there's no moves to be made, there's no shame in the game.
Well, no. So the biggest part is that there are 2 moves that I would like to make, and I couldn't really decide which one bore higher importance. And I'm not quite ready to have this fight on Force Awakens versus Empire just yet. So instead, I will move Return of the Jedi above New Hope.
I am okay. Actually, in fact, not gonna lie, I'm pleased. That's pretty much where I have them.
Okay. Compromises can be made.
This is true. 5 is vastly different on your list than it is on mine. Compromises are being made.
So I have 2
Wait,
moves
have you
in...
seen each other's lists?
No, but I can see the list as it exists, and I obviously know that no one likes 5 where it is on my list. So,
Oh, okay, that's fair.
So I have a couple moves in mind. I don't know if I want to play towards the bottom of the list right now or if I want to play towards the top. Because there's kind of a gray area in the middle where I could make compromises. But the bottom
the
and the
middle
top,
really
no,
is-
not so much.
Yeah. The middle really is, especially for something like that. The Star Wars main 9 is a very gray area.
So for me, I'm going to swap and move episode 5, so ranking 2, to number 1. And then The Force Awakens to number 2. We make money moves. even though The Force Awakens made more money moves. I think the highest grossing out of all of these is The Force Awakens.
I actually do think that is correct.
That sounds.
I would have to go look, but that sounds believable.
Yeah, I don't know. Chat, if anyone wants to check where Force Awakens ranks as far as grossing, with or without inflation, I don't know if that would make much of a difference.
Oh, I just looked it up. It actually ranks second. Number one would be PlayStation. Ultimate Battle Royale. Just barely squeaking by. One more cell. That's all.
Oh my god.
Okay, here we go. A recap of the list. Rankings 1 through 9. The Empire Strikes Back. The Force Awakens. Return of the Jedi. A New Hope. The Rise of Skywalker. The Phantom Menace. The Last Jedi. Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
Okay. Here I go. There's very few more moves for me to be made that really makes my list happy. I would like to. Boy, I want to take. See, this moves one out of where I want it to be, but I think I'm okay with that. I want to take ranking 6 and change it with ranking 7.
All right, so we are swapping Phantom Menace and Last.
So there we have confirmation. Force is the highest grossing, unadjusted. Adjusted for inflation, A New Hope is number 1.
There you go.
Thank you, Trevor. In chat.
Much appreciated, Raven Knight. Kevin said Wrath of Khan is number 1. Batman agrees.
Do you guys
We'll
like
search
Star
for
Trek?
Spock in 2. I do love Star Trek. Next Generation all day.
What do you prefer as far as Star Wars or Star Trek? Obviously,
that's real
more,
tough because
one's more prominent as a television series, even though it had a dozen films, or give or take. It's funny. There are more Star Trek films than there are Star. Well, I think they're one and the same now with the spin-offs or the side movies. Batman says Trek. Caleb, what are you, Trekkie or Star Wars?
I'm a starry boy.
So you like both?
Card is best captain. Raven Knight agree.
Yeah, I grew up with the Next Generation myself. That was what I watched.
It's probably worth being noted. I am, slightly younger than some of the other hosts on this show. And,
What are you trying to say?
I'm just trying to say that you're older than me. Not by much, really. Not by that much, but enough to where Star Trek wasn't really in my wheelhouse as I grew up. I had a cousin who is your guys' age, and he was always rocking like a Klingon outfit, and like he was a big Star Trek fan. So I knew of Star Trek from him, and we watched a little bit here and there, but it was never something that like I got into by myself. So I'm not really a big Trek guy at all.
Right on. I always put the Star Wars films on a different pedestal than actual other films. I always explain to people there are movies and then there's Star Wars. And I still feel that way today. I think Star Wars stands alone outside its own thing. I think it's just an absolute fantastic franchise. And I've been a lifelong fan of it. That's just where I stand.
Yeah, I mean, Redbeard points out there's not any real way to compare them because they're two very different kinds of things. And
well, sure, but you've had pop culture comparing them since forever.
Yeah.
And even Family Guy
Batman
had the thing where they were running back and forth between conventions.
Yeah. Batman points out that when he, I'm assuming it was when he met him, but Ray Park was at a Star Trek convention. So, there's a lot of crossover anyway. Why can't fruit be compared?
All right.
All right, so is that me?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yep,
I believe it is.
You, Rob.
I'm gonna rock the boat, and I'm gonna swap Last Jedi with Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
What's wrong with you?
come on, man.
My mouse was not responding.
It's like you're gonna move him.
He's having second thoughts.
I changed my mind.
So, shout out
No,
to viewers. If you guys are enjoying this debate, I'm considering doing a similar thing with. Originally, my mind was set on doing Marvel, the MCU. But then to make it really fun, which, let's be honest, most of the ranking will end up being the Marvel MCU, anyways. But I was going to expand to the entire world of comic book films and do a top
that
list.
which is
what
still
I like.
predominantly Marvel.
That's sure, but there is a bunch that do exist outside of it.
Are we talking like the rankings will be 1 through 57? Like, is that what we're doing, or
Yeah. It's a
it's
4-day episode.
7-day podcast?
Or should we just
I
restrict
think
it to the MCU?
I think this one works because the 9 films fit in the 9 slots. I think when you have a chance to cut a movie out completely, I think that is when the real debates will begin. So maybe it could be more interesting when you're completely dropping movies off of lists.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Good.
This debate, aka Travis has an aneurysm. I'll tell you what we should do. Is what we did do when we did that live drive to go see Infinity War.
Okay. Go on.
On the drive down, we ranked the existing franchises within the MCU. So instead of saying, Iron Man 2 was better than Thor Dark World, we said Iron Man was better than Thor. Ranked them collectively.
Okay.
And so, especially if we want to expand that to include DC movies.
So, like Batman, the franchise of the Batman films.
Yeah, and then you could at that point specify
The
Nolan
Yeah.
or, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Interesting. So
Yeah.
you're hearing brainstorming, a little bit of behind the scenes what we do.
I'd like to toss this one out there before we jump back to our current list. Popped in my head, technically ties in, but I think there's enough movies out there to see an X-Men list.
All by itself, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have enough. Or even if we
Yeah.
limited to a 9 list, when we do our rotation of entries to get on the list, once we've all added 3 to the list, we then shift them around.
So yeah.
we're just
So then
stuck with our first 9.
Well, that's the list.
Yeah. That could be
I like that.
more difficult. So you really have to have at least 3 in your pocket that you know will make the list. But if we have duplicates, you'll get like your 4, 5, and 6. We're killing
Andrea
time,
over here
Andrea.
yelling at
It's
us.
called killing time. Damn it. I didn't want to be so obvious about it, but we are killing time.
Oh boy! All right, yeah, we can figure this stuff off.
She doesn't
off
listen
pod.
to the radio because this is what they do on the radio. They go off topic. They talk
You
about
riff.
bullshit. You riff, thank you. And then you get back.
All right. Speaking of getting back, Rob, go ahead and help us out here, man.
One quick thing. She said she had to eat 5 minutes on her game because she had to run upstairs for a second. Andrea, people are paying you to play your game. No one's paying to hear us talk.
That's true. I mean, they're paying with their own sanity, I guess. But
Sure.
wait, why are they paying his ass, and why am I not seeing a dime of that?
True. Yeah, no. And that's a completely different show. They're paying to give themselves opportunities at belts. There's nothing.
This is a freebie.
Yeah. Jeez.
This is free torment for your ears.
She doesn't understand radio.
She is gonna kill you.
Stop stalling. Okay. Fine.
Take your move.
We still have 18 minutes.
Take your move, Mr. Travis.
Oh, it's mine. It's my turn, huh? Okay. Oh God, what did you do?
Don't worry about what I did.
I know. We're gonna move rank 6, so episode 2 to rank 9, and move episode 3 to rank 6.
You're just shitting on everything that's good in life.
No. Attack of the Clones is not better than the Phantom Menace.
I'm gonna jump in. Let's do one more round before we update. I'd like to almost undo that. I want to switch ranks 6 and 7.
I'm okay with that.
You people.
You
Come on,
people.
Rob, that's closer. Rob, that is closer.
It's not closer enough.
That's almost a sentence. Rob, what do you got?
I'm gonna swap 8 and 9, I guess, because I'm not willing to fight you guys the rest of the episode on
What?
episode 3. Oh, whoops.
What?
I mean, I'm okay with that too.
Oh, that hurts.
8 and 9 could be interchangeable for me.
Last Jedi made me angry.
Well, it's because it's full of bullshit, and then they had to retcon half of it. The movie
Yes,
was
that is
this.
exactly my point.
Shit, they're coming to get me. Go into hyperspace, run away. We got away. Oh shit, they caught up. Do it again. And then do it again. The movie repeats itself 3 times in all 3 fucking acts. And then they have some fucking casino sequence that felt so out of place.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a good movie, and that director should not have done it. It should have been JJ through all 3.
I don't disagree.
Big surprise here. I really enjoyed The Last Jedi, so my apologies to everybody that hears my
Listen,
voice.
here's the thing. Last Jedi was pretty. It was, for the most part, very well acted, but it was very poorly written, and it threw away a whole bunch of stuff for no goddamn reason. And that's what pissed me off about it. I will say, Holdo wrecking face at the end of the movie was totally legit, though.
What happened?
It had a couple of moments that were good, but they were just that, a couple of moments in a shitstorm, in my opinion.
What happened at the end? What are you talking about? What?
Holdo puts the ship into hyperdrive and it rips the other ships apart.
Oh, where it goes through it? Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
Cool.
It was cool as shit. Plus, that fight scene was also cool as shit with Ray and Ben and the guards.
Oh, the Royal Guards.
Yeah.
Royal Guards, yeah.
So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, it had a couple of really legit moments, but it was not a good movie.
Yeah, no, I'll agree. And like I said, it did have good moments, but it was a shit movie. And they had, like, they retconned so much because they had to, because the character direction, I just didn't understand where they're going with things.
Well, the 5-year-old inside of me, and don't take that for what it is, really enjoyed The Last Jedi. I would like to swap 9 and 9 and
You're gonna say 1.
7.
I was gonna shit on you.
9 and 7, please. I think this is something we'll have to waste a few more minutes on. Is how many times we're gonna let ourselves back and forth seize this.
Oops.
So you really think Revenge of the Sith is the worst one of the franchise? Enlighten me why, because we are going to spend some time back and forth.
I don't think it's the worst one. In my list, I have it in 8th place.
Okay.
Don't think that The Last Jedi is the worst. I have it much higher than it is now, but I thoroughly enjoyed it from an entertainment value. Whether or not they took us places and then didn't use those places, I still thought the movie was very entertaining.
Revenge of the Sith was great. He killed children. You had the turn. The fighting sequence, the war was awesome.
Somebody please clip that. It was great. He killed children.
Like, it was dark
Travis,
as fuck.
2020.
No, it was such a contrast to a kid driving a pod racer.
It was, and that level of contrast I felt belonged in the middle.
No, you're so wrong.
As evidenced by Empire being my number 1 pick.
Locke, you were the chosen one.
Okay, I have.
Okay, but then Padme dies because she was sad.
Yeah, okay, that kind of sucked.
I have an idea. Let's see what you guys think of this idea. We go through this last round of swaps, and then we each take turns, at least for one round, picking one on the list where it is currently and locking it in.
Wait, what? Say it again.
So we get this round to make the swaps, but then every round going forward, we pick one and say this one cannot move again.
Okay, so we'll highlight something and lock it and agree.
Yeah.
And okay, so this is our last round to make a move, and then we have to
lock them.
Lock one. We all have to agree that we lock one. Okay. I like it.
All right. So is it my move then? Who moved that?
I mean, I'll go again, but it is.
It's Rob's move.
No, I
Yes.
couldn't remember if Travis moved that.
Yeah,
or
no,
you
he did
moved
his, and then you got yours, and then I got mine. That's how we're doing it.
Is that how? For the listeners who are confused,
Travis, if your wife doesn't get you first, buddy, this quarantine is not going to last forever.
I have not left my house in 6 weeks.
Oh man! All right, what am I doing?
I don't know.
I'm just not that mad about most of the list at this point.
I am. I hate it all.
All right, the only move that I can make, I think, in true and good conscience, is to swap Last Jedi with Attack of the Clones again.
You're an asshole.
So that's what we're doing.
Okay.
All right, you do that. And then I'll take mine, and then we're going to start locking things in.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'm going to move Revenge of the Sith from 9 to 7 and move Attack of the Clones to 9.
I'm gonna fucking die.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh
I'm
dear.
glad you guys can't see everything that I'm doing on this side because that went sideways on me so fast.
I'm watching. I'm on the back side of the dock. I can see your moves. So I vote.
I have a coach. Hold on. I have a coach right now. Andrea is coaching me in chat. If you can see this, if not, go do yourself a favor and watch this video back.
I vote for the first round of locks. It is your choice and your choice only. No one vetoes.
Wait, what?
For the first choice of locking ends.
So like you get to pick the one that's locked in. No one else
correct.
can. Oh shit!
Yeah, no agreements for one round. For the first round.
Just for the first. Oh, that's fucked.
Oh, after that, it's by majority.
I'd say that's a fun way to do it.
Okay, I'm down. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I don't like that you
I
get
am
to go
ready
first.
to stab each other.
I don't like that you're going first, but go for it.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm going to lock in. Oh, jeez. I'm going to lock in ranking 2.
Okay.
Nope, not that one.
A safe lock, I would say.
They put it like green, like light green or something, highlight behind it. There you go. That works.
Like so.
Untouchable.
Yeah.
How does that look on stream? Look okay.
Can you make the
Looks
green
okay.
a little bit lighter? There we go.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So now it's my turn.
Yep. Let's
In a
do
move
it.
that should surprise absolutely nobody. I'm gonna go ahead and lock episode 5 in at number 1.
Okay, number 9 is locked at the worst fucking movie.
That's. Oh, I regret letting you have a voice.
Okay. All right. So let me reveal the current locked rankings. Currently locked at number 1 is episode number 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Currently locked at ranking number 2 is episode 7, The Force Awakens. And currently locked at rank 9 is episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I would like to start the voting for the next round of locks. I would like to start the movement to lock ranking 6 as episode 1. Do I have a conference? Is that the word I want? Nope, it's not.
Consensus.
Consensus. Anybody agree?
While you think, I just want to let everyone know, none of these movies are really terrible. I like them all.
Is that your coach telling you to say that?
No. I just wanted to say.
His coach did say you need someone to second your motion, though.
In regards to a
That's what I meant.
Star Wars film, that's why I say it's fucking terrible when I say that for any particular ones.
Thank you, Andrea. I will go with my motion to lock episode 1 to ranking 6. Will someone second my motion?
Yeah, I can get behind that, I guess.
Is it majority, or do we all have to 3 agree?
I think I just need a second. So sorry, Charlie.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my
You get your
my
second
original suggestion was that we just do it by majority. 2 out of 3 would be enough. But
Yeah, that's fine. Majority rules. I get it.
all right. So then, I guess I'm gonna vote for Last Jedi to be locked in at 8.
I second
No
that.
second?
I second
Oh,
that.
you will?
No.
Okay.
Damn it.
Trev, what are you locking in place?
Do I have to lock something or can I move something on my turn?
Um,
I
You
think
know,
you can move something
think
out of the
move-
4 that are left unlocked.
Right, because we're still open. Otherwise, we're just ending the game and locking things.
Yeah, you can still move stuff, I think.
Okay, so I'm going to move number 4 ranking to number 3 ranking.
Alright. So we're putting... God damn it. New Hope above... Return. Alright.
So that's my turn.
All right. I will go ahead and start the motion to lock ranking 8 with episode 3.
You mean 7?
Sorry. Ranking 7, yeah, with episode 3. Anybody second my motion?
I second that.
Yeah, I can get behind that too. Seems pretty
I like
good.
how confident Rob is. Yeah, I guess. I could probably get behind
It's fine. It's fine.
We have 5 minutes remaining on our hour timeline.
You know what?
What'd you guys have for lunch today? Just joking.
Hamburger Helper. I'm gonna actually go ahead and suggest that episode 4 be locked in at number 3.
I second that.
All right, so you can either swap or you're ending the game at this point.
It all comes down
The
to
game, quote unquote.
I will swap 4 and 5. So Rise of Skywalker will be 4. Return of Jedi will be 5.
All right, Caleb, are you doing the right thing? Or are you fucking us?
Yeah, I think when things are right next to one another, that they're already, fairly equal. And I think I am okay with where they stand. I would like to start the motion to lock the list.
I second.
I hate you both. And that's it.
You disagree with that. You would rather have Return of the Jedi higher, huh?
I liked Rise of Skywalker. I just felt like Return was a better conclusion.
Was it, though? It was a clean...
Except for the fact that they
ending.
screwed over Chewie.
It was a clean, generic ending, whereas Rise had emotion and someone sacrificed themselves. Spoiler alert, someone sacrificed themselves and it had the full, like, I'm getting a boo, whatever, screw you. Screw you, Trevor. No.
Return is
You
number
had
2.
the full
Is number 2.
broken storyline of a Sith coming back to being good. That has never happened in Star Wars.
Yeah, for me, Rise of Skywalker, would have been the first movie that I, in the saga, that I, there was something that was not spoiled to me. I did not see or guess the tie back to Palpatine. That's something that completely kind of hit me.
That was great.
Yeah, and so that was something that would be why I would allow it to be over the top.
And Kylo's journey was incredible. Like, it was a good story arc. He was a broken individual that did the right thing in the end. And for someone being so dark to come back out of that, we had not seen that in the entire franchise up to that point. Did the movie have flaws?
Vader?
Sure. Vader, you could say, but
It was almost a literal perfect parallel, and that's part of what bugs me.
So was
Vader
Force
was the full
Awakens
bad
to A
guy
New
for
Hope.
so long, and then he chucked Palpatine over the edge and then died. And then Ben was the villain the whole time, and then he showed up and killed the same Emperor and then died. Except he didn't even actually get to kill the guy.
No. I thought it was... If we're making that similar parallel,
I felt like
it's
It wasn't bad. It just felt a little hollow because of how similar it was to what we already got.
Well, same debate could be had Force Awakens and New Hope, though, too, if we're talking parallels.
Sure. And I don't disagree with that comparison then either.
But if you look at the list, too, there's reason for these things. Obviously, we came to the agreement that Empire Strikes Back with the big turn, the big stories, the big set pieces, and such a just an amazing movie is number one. The Force Awakens, New Hope next to each other, Rise and Return next to each other. So it's clear that we like these story arcs for such reason in our ranking of things. The later part of the list, it's clear that we hate things because they were bad. So
I'd like to go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'd like to try and start a trend to see if it carries on. I would like to shed one tear for something on this list. I won't say why. I'll just say which movie, and I'd like to shed one tear for The Last Jedi.
Shed one tear. Why? You said you
it's
won't.
Just the movie that. It's just the movie that I'm sad at where it is.
Okay.
Does anybody else have a tear they'd like to shed?
No, I'm pretty content with the list. I think it'd be very close to how I would rank my own.
Yeah. I mean, I fought pretty hard to move episode 2 up higher than where it is, but if I'm being real, all three of those deserve to be 7 through 9 in my opinion.
I mean, it's pretty damn close.
Rated is very unhappy apparently. This was our collective list rated. The whole of this episode was us basically arguing about where each movie deserved to be on the list. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I am curious though. I mean, do you want to share, Caleb, at all, or do you want to elaborate on your thoughts and emotions while we're here, or and just leave forever with nothing?
So for me, and I guess I've already put it out there that obviously there are some movies in the world of Star Wars I haven't seen. There's also some on this list that's been a very long time since I've seen them. Episode 5, it's a movie that I've probably seen maybe once or twice in my life, and it's been a very long time since I've seen that movie. That's probably why it didn't rank very high on my list, because I don't have tons of memories of thoroughly enjoying that, at least over top of some of the more refreshed movies. So for me, The Last Jedi, I enjoyed it because I liked seeing Luke again and getting back, with him a little bit more and seeing, finding out more about where he's been. I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm not sure where everybody else stands on it. Seeing Yoda again in this new kind of trio of movies, and that was exciting for me to see because he's always been one of my favorite characters. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything specific that points it out. I know that it wasn't everybody's favorite, but to me it was probably. Let's see, where did I have it? I had it at much higher than it is. We'll just leave it that way.
Hip hip hooray to Rated. Thank you for the 200-bit donation. We appreciate you. He says Revenge should be in the top 5. Don't get me wrong about The Last Jedi. I know I shat all over it for pretty much this whole hour of our show. It had so many. I don't want to say redeeming because that makes me feel like or sound like I should have shifted it higher. I mean, look what the competition is, right? That's why it ended up where it was for me. But it did have a lot of cool moments. Luke in it obviously was very absent in The Force Awakens. They alluded to him the entire time. That was the journey to find him. Spoiler alert, they find him at the end, and that's all we get for him in The Force Awakens, which is like, come on, you had a chance to bring everyone, all three, together after all these years, and that's what you did? Now I have to wait 2 more years for your next damn movie? Okay, you already got my money, but damn you. I don't know. I don't know what I expected it to deliver on, and I just feel it didn't deliver on things I was hoping for. There were touching moments in it where people reunited, and you got to see things like you had mentioned with Yoda. Various things were cool. The fighting sequence, the special effects were great. Most notably, the ending sequence with the it There's like the white sand and then it exploded. What was the mineral or what was the stuff underneath the sand that was red? You guys recall?
Oh, the I don't know what it's called, but it's, it looks like the ground's bleeding as the um, vehicles are ripping through and kind
Andrea
of
says it
skiing.
was salt.
So that makes
So
sense, yeah.
It was a really cool vision.
that was an incredible visual. And then when they basically had their entire fleet attack Luke in that sequence, just man, the scope of it, again, really
Yeah.
cool moments. But I felt the main story arc for the main characters for this new trio was not executed properly. There was a lot of things they flubbed on and a lot of confusing things that they ended up just not acknowledging or retconning in episode 9. If that hadn't been for that, I think this could have been, to me, a better movie, but for them to backpedal on things, which was caused so much disdain towards it.
I understand that, but something we did hit on, not 20 minutes ago, was to put I'm trying to put each movie in an envelope. So, episode, the Last Jedi for me, regardless of whether or not they use bits of that, moving on forward to the next movie, is irrelevant in the way I'm viewing this list. So for me, the Last Jedi, in of itself, thoroughly enjoyable. I ranked it much higher. The scene we talked about in the Salt Flats, when everybody's trying to attack the holographic Luke, that's probably one of the strongest moments in all of the saga when I view it and think about it, for what he did, what he was able to do, sacrifices made. That was super cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my take.
I think it's the most controversial in regards to opinions, possibly out of the entire franchise, from fans, critics, and so on, even for cast. I've seen various opinions from Mark Hamill himself regarding treatment of the character in that film and various things. I don't know if he's changed his opinion after episode 9, but after episode 8 came out, there was some controversial opinions. Do yourself a favor, obviously do some research on this, look some stuff up, but I found that quite interesting too. And again, it's none of these are terrible movies by any means. There's just terrible moments in them that make them better or worse than other ones in this list. So by no means is there a bad film per se on this particular list. That would go towards Solo.
They all made the top 10, so that's good.
They did, see? They did well. Lana says, stupid fanboys were so awful to some of the characters they left social media. Yes, so those controversial things as well, that really bothered me and made me mad. That could be a topic in itself.
Yeah.
That was really unfortunate because that individual character was one of my favorite characters in that particular film. And then again, they retconned her story arc going into 9-2 to make her even more of a background character rather than a potential main character that she could have been. If you know who I'm speaking of.
Yeah.
So that's too bad. But anyone have any memories or thoughts they want to share of Star Wars in our closing thoughts here?
No.
I think that the ability that we could have a hour plus long discussion on over 9 movies, and for there to be such a toxicity and polarity of views of this, I think just speaks of itself as to what a powering franchise Star Wars is. And I wish I was kind of around in the world when it first initiated to come up with this idea of a war in space. To me would be to have that hit my bubble, my brain for the first time ever, would have probably been much more fascinating than living in a world where it already existed. So I think for me, Star Wars will always have a special place in my heart. Just understanding how vast and awesome it is.
Yeah, I agree completely. It's a franchise that changed potentially my life as far as nerddom. It possibly was an entryway into my interests and hobbies and things I enjoy today. It's one of those things that I really wish I could recall the moment when I'd seen it for the very first time. I don't know when that was. I don't know when that age was. But I just know that I watched it a lot on VHS tape as a kid. And fell in love with it so much so that I was able to get, if you recall, this dates me, but Micro Machines were a very popular thing. They had their own line of Star Wars sets for the original trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, and had the various planets. And for me, I was able to go beyond the films and have my own adventures with these little miniature figures on these various planets and develop my own stories and just stay immersed in the content because you just had the VHS tape. You couldn't back then hop on the internet and get yourself immersed more. I didn't really know about the books. I didn't really know much beyond than those 3 movies at the time. So for me, it was such a cool thing to be a part of. I just wish that I remembered what it was like watching it for the very first time, realizing Darth Vader, was his dad for the very first time, and really comprehending the depth of these stories. It's just always been there as far as I could remember. So I know I was very young when I was exposed to it. I just wish I could go back and be exposed to it again without knowing. So it's weird, and it's if you could erase like your brain as a hard drive certain pieces and relive things for the first time, that would be one of the many things that I would want to do again and experience those emotions again, because it's been such a fun journey. And I hope they don't ruin it by continuing to pump things down our throats. I'm kind of glad that they stopped or at least slowed the spin-off films because of obviously Solo not doing as well as they had hoped. And now we're starting to see things like The Mandalorian, other things in the world. We saw the Clone Wars anime, things like that. Please give us more of quality and care for the world. Step away from the films for a while. I think we've seen what we need to see.
Yeah, I agree. Let's delve into other things. The most recent game, the Force Awakens. Nope. What was it called? What was the game called? The most recent Star Wars game that I just played.
Fallen Order.
Thank you. The Fallen Order. For me, what a cool place to live. To see that different side, or different hole in the universe. I enjoyed something like that. The last note I want to leave for me that I just thought of as Travis was talking is there's not many other films or franchises or really just things in the world that can affect people's imaginations and playing. I just imagine if you take 100 people in the world and give them a stick, I would probably say 75% of those people will wave the stick in the air and go, vroom, vroom. And for me, that is as simple as I can explain as for how big of an impact Star Wars is and how cool it is.
It truly is, and I was able to do that with my oldest son. We originally did them with the cardboard paper towel rolls until I got him his own Kylo Ren lightsaber, and introducing him to that world and seeing that again. It's that thing that I just mentioned that I wish I could relive it, and I kind of am. And that's just so exciting to have kids and show them this, nerd culture and expose them to all this. So, and you're right.
Yeah.
The vast majority would turn them into lightsabers.
I mean, I guess that is the one thing I will say about it, is to kind of piggyback off that a little bit and point out that, we didn't really get to live through all the craziness of the original trilogy, but getting to live through not even just 1 but 2 subsequently has been really cool, just as a member of pop culture in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got super emotional after 9, thinking like the ride's over, because half of me doesn't want more. Like I said, I don't want them to continue to do like episode 10, episode 11. There's not, you don't, but it's like I felt like an exhale, like we did it. We went on this journey. And it's like, well, what do I do?
Yeah. And I think that's part of why, love it or hate it, episode 9 is going to persist for a long time as a major moment in pop culture where Star Wars is concerned. And it's specifically because it really was that kind of thing. Like this roller coaster ride of, quote unquote, the whole story now is over. And even if they somehow manage to convince Daisy Ridley to come back and reprise her role for another movie, we can, supposedly anyway, look at the Skywalker saga as closed.
Yeah. It's how I feel about the MCU. I felt that same kind of like I'm done, but not really after Endgame. Like that was the biggest, it was the apex of everything. And I'd be okay if they never released another Marvel movie because I got what I wanted out of that, out of those 20 plus movies.
Mm.
I don't need more, but I'll fully accept more with that because it's a little different. But comparing the emotions is what I'm doing here.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah.
I hope that one day we do get to live out our fantasies of there being a movie or a franchise that no one saw coming. You know, a type of entertainment that we didn't even fathom or know was possible. Obviously, we have no idea what that is, or else it wouldn't be a valid statement. But I hope something like that happens for us who didn't get a chance to kind of see Star Wars pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I would argue technically we did get a little bit of that out of the Marvel movies, but I don't actually mean the MCU. I mean some of the earlier stuff, like the X-Men movies, really kick-started the whole comic book movie revolution because up to that point, comic book movies did exist, but they were largely garbage.
Yeah.
And
X-Men and Spider-Man really changed
Yeah,
the
that's
world for
true.
that.
so we did to a tiny degree get it. It obviously was not to the same magnitude of Star Wars. Star Wars is a cultural phenomenon.
Financially,
Um,
though, the
yes,
MCU changed everything.
and see that's even a hard thing to kind of say because some people definitely are going to look at it and go, "Man, look at how popular the Marvel movies are. What's wrong with you?" Of course, you got the same thing, and I'm like, it's not though. It really isn't because the state of of sci-fi in general was extremely different before Star Wars came along.
Yeah.
And comic book movies largely were garbage because they weren't handled well. Not because the source material was bad or the genre was bad, but because they treated it like it was throwaway. You know what I mean? It wasn't until Sam Raimi treated Spider-Man with some seriousness. We almost got it with Batman, with Tim Burton's first Batman.
But I
You
mean,
know what I mean?
you could speak on this as a commentary on nerd culture in general. This is with video gaming too. So growing up, for our age mostly, if you like gaming, if you like comics, any of these things that are now so widely popular, like the MCU, I never thought in my life I'd be having conversations with people about these comic book characters I loved growing up. Just because I was pushed away into a corner reading my comic book, like, you're a nerd. Like, well, you like Spider-Man? That's, you're a geek. That's not cool. Oh, you play Nintendo? Okay. Here's a football kid. Why don't you go be cool? Like, those two communities of nerd culture didn't connect. I always found it interesting when I had made friends with the quote jock and went to hang out with them. I recall like a situation where I was dating a girl and she was part of the jock community of people, and she wanted me to hang out and be friends with her social group. So I went over there one time, and oddly enough, what we did was play Smash Bros on the Nintendo 64. That blew my mind. It
Very
blew my mind,
nice.
and they were good at the game. I was like, y'all play Nintendo? You don't talk about it. You don't wear the geek shirts with Mario on them. You throw footballs. Like, this is strange. So it was like kind of that. It wasn't the beginning of, the shift, but it was definitely like eye-opening for me. But now it's like everybody, talks about it. Video games are popular and the cool thing now. And if you're not good at them, you're the geek now. It's like, wait a second. I've been a fan all my life and I'm being pushed in the corner? Weird. So
Yeah.
it's like such a strange cultural shift. But yeah.
That's a whole separate episode though, I think, at that point.
Oh, for sure. I could have a
We
conversation.
got time to dig into it. Let's
Listen,
I'm just joking.
I need to eat and then I gotta go to bed.
Yes.
I am an old man, as you so gracefully pointed out earlier in the episode, Caleb.
I stated that you guys were a little bit older than me.
A little. But I think this went well. Personally, I'm besides
Way
the
smoother than
feedback.
I expected.
Yeah. So if you guys, listeners, anyone live, if you're listening back later than this live recording, please give us some feedback. Give us a review if you're on a podcast platform. Let us know what you think of this particular show and the podcast in general. Share us out. Tell your friends. We want your feedback. If you want to see more episodes or listen to more episodes like this, let us know. We also want some feedback on topics if you do. Should we do MCU? Should we do all superhero films? Who knows? Should we rank franchises? Should we just talk for an hour about whatever we want? What do you want to hear from us? And let us know some feedback. And again, give us that review, sub, follow, share us out, do what you do best, and that's support us, and we appreciate you. Any last thoughts before I exit this show, guys?
Nope, just cast an early vote for next list to be top 10 kitchen appliances is my vote.
The blender. No.
I'm going to go with dishwasher.
Okay, well, we're not doing it. I'm just voting for that to be a list.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
The ice maker is really convenient. If y'all got one of those, I don't know. Nobody.
All I got is I love you guys. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us all the time. And I also love you guys. Thanks for being co-hosts with me. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Thank you all so much. Catch our live content every week on twitch.tv/Dose of Nerd Acumen. Every Thursday night, our ongoing series of wrestling content with Nerd Acumen Wrestling live, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, every Thursday on the channel. Every single Monday, you can catch Not So Silent Bob as he plays a roguelike game, as his theme has been recently. And rotating right now on the weekends, you can catch Locke, a.k.a. Rob here, playing some Jackbox games. We also have, based on your support, we have every $100 in donations. Ass! We give you ass! And that is Andrea Lana Scared Stiff. She will play a horror game based on your feedback or what we decide that we want to scare her with. And of course, that's coming at you live this Friday night, somewhere between 8 and 9 p.m. because we have kids we don't know. So check that out.
Just keep those notifications on.
Exactly what he said best. Turn on those notifications to get notified each and every time we go live on twitch.tv/Dose of Nerd Acumen. If you miss a show, that's okay. We archive everything we do since day one on YouTube. Almost had it. Goddamn.
YouTube.
Well, let's start this episode over.
Starting over. YouTube.com/Dose of Nerd Acumen, and catch us on social media. Just search for Dose of Nerd Acumen. Give us a follow, give us a sub, like us today, share us, tell your mom, because she'll get a continental breakfast.
My mom?
That is a hell of a throwback. That is a deep cut.
Boom goes the dynamite. But again, most importantly, you guys are the best community. We love what we do, and we love sharing with you our nerd acumen. And again, thank you for checking out episode 109 of The Dosage, where we ranked the 9 main Star Wars films. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.